is that the nature of something like football or any organized sport? Maybe to a certain degree, but good football teams develop some consistency, and we are not there yet by any stretch of the imagination.
Were you presently as surprised with Carson?
Well, like I said, I thought he had a good third quarter. That doesn't surprise me that he had a good third quarter. It doesn't surprise me that 1, 2, and 4 were not so hot. But it just relates to, just being repetitious here, but it relates to he's got to be consistent in order for your offense to be consistent, at this point in time, and he's not.
You mentioned that about the offensive line, how they would do well, and then all of a sudden completely mess up. Did you see that again today?
Well, you did just for instance, just in terms of penalties. The offensive line went I think the first half without. Well, I don't know if they had 2 penalties. One, I think, and then in the second half now they come unglued. And it's so easy for a young guy to get a little tired. That could relate to a lot of things. Relate to focus, relate to fundamentals. It could relate to conditioning. All of that. Sometimes you get a little tired, you start reaching instead of putting your hands in your face mask and your shoulder pads where they're supposed to be. But that's again, it's still all of it climbs its way up the ladder to consistency, and we're not consistent with conditioning. We're not consistent with performance. We're not consistent with spirit and emotion and effort. I mean, virtually anything and everything that you could address, we have some inconsistency with.
Coach, how did it feel just for you to be back on the sidelines and kind of a game atmosphere, fans in the stands and things?
It was a little different, and I committed myself to trying to be as observant as I could, and that's exactly what not just observant of what was going on the field, but observant of what was going on around me, and thinking, every time a situation would come up, I was trying to run through in my mind. It wasn't just something that all of a sudden popped up because you've been doing it for 40 years. That break, obviously, there's some things you don't react to quite as quickly. And I'm still going through that same phase. It's aha, now I remember. And I had some of those ahas today. Now I remember, and here's what we'll do in the future. So it's coming back.
Do you have your tape recorder with you?
I almost went back home. I came early this morning because we had a lot of things going on. I've got 2 of them, and one of them I misplaced, and the other one I left at home, and so I was without a tape recorder, and I was trying to take notes, and my penmanship is not so hot, so I can't always read the notes that I take, so I was a little bit pressed for information.